Eagles of Nigeria were seeing that particular encounter at the MK Abiola Stadium. It wasn't a happy mood at all for Nigerians, as they were really unhappy. They went home so sad. I still wonder how people slept yesterday. Well, that's it. Just to welcome you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Just saw that game there where Ghana came. They also conquered. Despite the fact that it ended in a draw, a away goal rule favored them, and they were able to do it. They said it, and they did it. Eagles were not really super. they were really, really chicken. Seriously, we just have to talk about it truthfully concerning that game. Joining me to talk sport this morning is Abuja Kabiru. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
And I also have Joel Ajayi here. The two gentlemen will be doing justice to the topic, the Super Eagles versus Ghana.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Okay, let's start with Kabiru. That yesterday's game was a match that Nigerians were expecting. Looking at the support from Nigeria who came from far and wide to support Eagles. They struggled, they maneuvered their way, they bought tickets, they flew in, they traveled, everybody. The stadium was filled to the brim, in fact, beyond the brim. And yet, that particular performance was what Eagles, in fact,
honestly, very disappointing day for Nigeria. Honestly, like it's a full capacity stadium. MK Abiola,
the people outside alone.
The atmosphere was electric. You can feel it, like anticipation. When the goal went in, the equalizer penalty, everything was, but it was such a disappointing game. We couldn't create more chances. There was no cohesion. Like the passes weren't going through. Honestly, very disappointing. Osimhen, he was trying acrobatic, trying to score this thing. Dennis on the right, he was trying his best. It was just something wasn't clicking, man. Ghana too, they were very organized. They really kept us at bay.
Ghana came out against us, and I won't lie to you, they played well.
They played well. Thomas Partey really showed why he's playing for Arsenal, honestly. He showed his
In fact, the entire squad, their goalkeeper was superb, because someone was saying some of the balls they played to the goalkeeper of Ghana, Wolaka, if it were to be Uzoho, he would have considered.
Honestly.
Let me hear from Joel Ajayi here.
Honestly, I'm still feeling the pains of thousands of Nigeria that trooped out yesterday to watch our beloved Super Eagles at Monshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja. But when we look at the game, let me just start like this by saying that man proposed, God disposed. Because it's not about what you can put in place, it's about how it ends. Looking at the game, I think we have a lot of issue that is affecting us as a nation, as a team, as a Super Eagle. Because if you look at the game, the HUD give it to Super Eagle because of everything that we have in place to ensure that that game we are able to get it very correctly. But at the end of the day, because of some technical aspect of it, and then let me just put it in this way, because maybe that is my own opinion. Everybody have their own different opinion. Maybe the gods of soccer are angry with Nigeria because left to me, federal government on its own little way through the Minister of Sport, Sunday Dare, ensure that everything was in place for Super Eagles to qualify. If you are watching this game on the screen, there is no difference between when you are watching Arsenal versus Liverpool or Chelsea versus Man City. The facilities
look at our
are
goalkeeper.
there.
In fact, let's even just look at that goal that was scored.
Honestly, I don't know. It's like we're not very lucky when it comes to goalkeepers, because even the AFCON, you remember.
Does it have to be about luck now or performance?
But that's what I'm saying. Like when
Uzoho
was
caught on guard. He was just.
No, this was a horrific mistake. Honestly, unacceptable. At that level, you're not meant to, in a game with these stakes. You're not meant to make such a mistake like this. Honestly, like we're not very lucky when it comes to goalkeepers. Maduka was criticized during AFCON, and look at this mistake from Uzoho. High stakes match like this, he has cost us our place in Qatar.
I still don't understand. If you look at this particular game, the Nigerians that came out alone, the Nigerians that were in that stadium, I was wondering where did they come from, and aside that, they were really in support of it. Just watch this goal. Look at the goalkeeper.
If you look at the goal, at time, we are seeing it on the screen.
I understand.
But we
were there live.
It goes beyond that. I was there. I was there. But if you look at that ball, there was a bit deflection. Though, as you are saying, there is even the best goalkeeper in the world can make this kind of mistake.
Right? Okay.
We cannot just say that because he made that mistake. You still have, they score at 11 minutes. You still have close to 79 minutes to redeem that image. But Super Eagles were nowhere to be found yesterday. The strength are not there. The physical were not there. And then you want to win. How will you win? You collect a ball before you know. You have like 3 Ghanaians. are about to collect the ball from you. There is no bite in that particular team. Let us be sincere with
Honestly, I
ourselves.
felt Ndidi's presence was really missing in both games. I have to emphasize that point. His presence was really missing. But the goalkeeping issue, honestly, I don't think you can justify that mistake.
Do you
honestly.
also notice something? While that match was on throughout, the defense, the goalkeeper will get ball. Instead of it to shoot it out, will make a pass or throw it. Then the defenders will always take the ball backward.
There was no cohesion.
Nigerians were shouting
build-up
forward.
Play. I would say that last night, build-up play was very missing. We clearly lacked creative midfielders there. If we had Thomas Partey, I think it would have been a different result. Because look how he get that midfield. You can see why he's playing at the highest level, Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, because he really dominated our midfielders. No match for him.
The truth must be told. We are not, the game yesterday, we did not play as if we want to get that ticket. Because if you want to play to get that ticket, you have close to 60,000 Nigeria behind you at the stadium. You have nothing less than, you and I were there, you have nothing less than 5 to 10,000 people outside. They don't have their way coming in. And then you are playing as if you have nothing.
You have qualified.
As
if you have qualified.
It's not about...
Eagles were playing as if they were leading. They were leading by 4 goals.
You are playing at home. You have crowds with
Support.
you. You have the support of... Even the noise alone. Look at when that goal came in around 21st minute. If you look at the Z, that is when I expected a team that have something to
offer.
To put more pressure and score another goal and bury the game. You are now playing as if you did not trade. You are playing as if you don't have any important thing that you want to achieve in that particular game. Honestly, it's a very great disappointment for the whole Nigeria and everyone. That's why you saw what happened yesterday at the end of the game, which is not even speaking well for the country. But for me, I will say it this way. I always come here and said it. Until we prioritize sport, that is when we are going to get it very right. When you are putting a bricklayer to come and manage our sport, there is no how we are going to get the result. Let us be sincere with ourselves.
I won't ask you who is the bricklayer.
I don't want, if you ask me, I have my point to just tell you the truth. Let us get it right. Let us make sure that this sport that we've seen as a unified factor, unify the whole Nigeria. There is nothing Super Eagles and NFF want that Nigeria did not give them yesterday. But at the end of the day, it was like, as usual, disappointment, gnashing of teeth, and all sort of things that is not
You
good
can
for
see
us.
pains coming there. Let me hear
Honestly,
you.
Just to add to his point, honestly, with the talent pool we had, like if you look at the players we have on the pitch, even the competition was saying it, on people on the pitch, like if you look at the players we have, we're not meant to lose that much. The talent pool we have, even the players that weren't called up or injured, I cannot believe we're not going
Let
to
me
go to
quickly
Qatar.
correct. I've said I will always say, I don't want to, you see that on paper, that it's always annoying. I don't want to hear. See,
Honestly, but
they are professionals.
They are
The
professionals.
Ghanaian players that play them, it's not as if they play in a better team in Europe.
No, they don't.
You understand? For Nigerians to play like this, even if you have qualified for World Cup, let's be sincere
We
with
might get
ourselves.
embarrassed by a big
If
team
you have
there.
qualified for the World Cup with this same score,
Honestly, I think this should be his last game. Honestly, because there is no excuse with the talent we have. On
why
the
we
pitch.
always okay? Let's
With the
let's
talent-
look at
no,
it
no,
this
no,
way.
I have to emphasize this point.
Let's
With-
look at it this
we
way.
have-
If the manager, they all have their own blame. The
Yeah.
manager, the NFF, but the players, they should take the larger
They should
chunk.
take the larger
You know why?
part,
They
yeah.
are the one on the pitch. They didn't play as if something was at stake. They play as if it was a friendly or they were leading.
100%.
As if they were leading.
100%, the blame has to go around, you see. But honestly, the manager too, with the talent, you cannot. This is unacceptable, honestly, to go out with this level.
Okay,
of
now
talent.
let's quickly look at let's have our virtual guest that will be joining us from Lagos. Edith Obadino, are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
How painful it was yesterday. Well, Nigeria-Ghana, it was a match that Nigerians were not expecting. A lot of people were expecting that we are going to carry the day, but so painful that we lost that game. We actually crashed out of the qualifier, and Ghana right now are celebrating. Your take on this?
It's just the combination of how our football has been going down over the years, but we never really paid attention. The result of that game did not just happen yesterday. We've been unable to score a goal in open play since the third group game against Guinea-Bissau at the AFCON, against Tunisia, both legs against Ghana. The team has been struggling. We had a temporary reprieve when we played at the AFCON during the group stages, and I think I was telling someone back then that it was just the new coach bounce in football. There's something sometimes it works like that when a new coach comes in, the players are gingered before they go back to the first setting, and that tells us the fact that we did not really solve the problem in terms of player quality, quality of our techniques or playing pattern. We've never really solved it. People think maybe General should have been allowed to have stayed back, but that's not really the truth. Our football has been going on for the last 3 to 4 years, and so what we witnessed yesterday, playing against one of the poorest Ghanaian team in history, was basically the result of what has been happening to our football. We lost to Car at home, we lost to Cape, we drew against Cape Verde at home, and so it's not really surprising that against our neighbor in Ghana, we could not pull the chestnut out of the fire. It was a game of two different halves. The first half, they had a bit of fire, they were pushing, but their conversion rate was so poor, and the second half was even worse. They were slow, lack of urgency. Our players were tired. But we saw other games in Africa where Cameroon played into extra time and they were still running. We saw Senegal. I think just basically lack of hunger, and of course a bit about the coaching techniques that has also been applied. Those are my thoughts.
Good one there. Any thought? We appreciate your time. But wait, looking at Eagles, aside the fact that they were slow, they played as if nothing was at stake. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, because the about the only person that made effort to run around to charge up was Osimhen. We could see him running to pick up the balls when the Ghanaian goalkeeper was trying to waste time. The defense send the ball to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper will quickly throw it back to the defense. Instead of them going forward, they pass within themselves, almost misplacing the ball. The urgency was not there. They got tired as at the 65th minute in the second half. They were looking tired. Calvin Bassey was holding his knee, bending and holding his knee, looking for air to breathe. Other players, there were no sense of urgency. They missed. Why I said there was a coaching problem was they missed it all through the first half. You could see that the Ghanaian centre backs were struggling with the long balls. They could not cope with Osimhen with the long balls that we were throwing, and we needed goals in the second half, and we were not doing that until almost when it was too late, and that's how we never really got going. The second half was what changed the game. We were very poor. We couldn't continue with the fire that we started with in the first half.
Well, Anita, it's so sad that this happened here in Abuja when everyone was hoping that at least they would make us proud. If they could play draw away at the 0-0 in Ghana, in Kumasi, coming back home where they have all the necessary support, and then they blew it. It was a very painful one. Now, let's look at the substitution the coach made. Ahmed Musa, Igalo, when he was almost late, Sadiq Umar. I think, to me, by the time Umar entered, it was late.
And I also think it was a wrong substitution. We were struggling to create chances, but Osimhen was stabbed up front of quality services. So why do we think bringing in another striker will change that? They needed somebody who could be at the edge of the field to create the chances for the strikers in the game, to bring the wingers into the game. So if you look at the second half, Simon Moses was constantly coming back to receive the ball from Chad Calvin Bassey. They were not receiving the ball up front. So our problem was not bringing on a new striker. Our problem was finding a creator, and that has been a long-standing problem for the Super Eagles. So we've been papering over the cracks with Iwobi. Sometimes he has one or two moments of spark in a game, provides the passes, and we think we are okay. But what we needed in that game was somebody to put the ball in the box for the striker to convert. Not so much. It was more of an emergency substitution because it showed that they were out of ideas. They didn't know what to do at that point. So they brought in Igalo, they brought in Sadiq Umar, and at some point we saw Sadiq Umar coming back as far back as the midfield to pick up the ball where he lost the ball to the Ghanaian player. So it was so much work to do to our strikers because we were not creating or feeding them with chances.
Good one there, Anito Obadino, joining us from Lagos. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Good one there. Let's come back to the studio as we look at what he has just said. He has made some points, and it shows that really the technical crew did not know what to do. Most of the solution they made was out of being jittery and all that.
Honestly, he made some very valid points. I 100% agree with him. The substitutions the manager made, it clearly shows that he was just panicking. Okay, let's just bring in strikers there to just score a goal. One valid point he made was about the creativity. Clearly, last night, you could clearly see we lacked a creative midfield player, someone who can make things happen. Like all the players on the pitch, Dennis, they're very attacking. Aribo, unfortunately, didn't play too well. That's not his natural position. So honestly, creativity has always been our problem for a while.
Okay, let's hear that. Joel, now from the way it is, I saw one player yesterday that wasn't really too happy about what happened to Etebo. Etebo was totally out. I know it's the entire squad, but throughout the playing period, when they mentioned Etebo, people were jubilating that this guy was going to do something, and alas, it wasn't the way they talked.
If you look at the game, I think like everybody were pointing at the same point that it is a technical error on this issue. If you look at if Nigeria Super Eagles can play the way they played in Ghana in Kumasi,
in Kumasi, I want to say against Egypt.
Even in Kumasi, we will have nailed everything, because as a coach that you have the little experience. Though if we are to trace history for like 4 occasions that Austin Eguavoen has disappointed Nigeria, but I don't want to go to that aspect for now. But what I was saying is that how will you change 6 people from those people that you played in Ghana? It's not good for a coach. And then we did not play bad in Ghana, because we were able to manage to get a 0-0 draw. But when you are coming to Nigeria, you want to play a player that are just coming, that have not been coming to country, that doesn't even know the terrain, and then you are just putting them into the midst of fight. It's like you are fighting a battle in a particular place, and then you are sending the troop there. The troop doesn't have the terrain, the environment. They don't know the environment, and then you are bringing them. So for me, I think the whole lot of blame goes to Eguavoen, but we have to give it to him, because we see how he was able to rescue us a bit at AFCON, and then he was able to get the team, but unfortunately we could not get. Assuming we get this ticket, Eguavoen today will have been the song in the mouth of all the Nigerians today. That is why I used to say it's not how far, but it is how well. But for Eguavoen, I don't think it's okay for him right now. For me, as a supporter, as a stakeholder, I could not sleep. Do you know that around 2 a.m., 12 a.m., 2 a.m., I still call you that, have you gotten home? We know the stress we pass through. We know the stress many Nigerians pass through. And then at the end of the day, you are unable to give them what they are looking for. I think we need to look elsewhere and see how we are going to solve the issue of the technical.
Okay, but briefly, what do you think is the way forward now?
Yeah, I think the manager has to go. Honestly,
Is the manager? If the manager go, what about the players?
Yes, players. Honestly, with a different manager, different ideas, we can bring with the talent pool we have. I keep on emphasizing.
What kind of manager are you looking at?
Honestly, a different manager, maybe we can follow in the footsteps. Maybe Senegal, Cameroon, a legend. Maybe somebody like Kanu Okocha, somebody that will bring respect.
Kanu Okocha.
Yes,
well, Eguavoen is also a legend.
Honestly, but not,
I'm looking at maybe
Senegal,
they should give Amuneke the chance to see if he can steer the ship.
Look at Senegal, the current manager of Senegal who won them the AFCON, the legend of Senegal. These players, they looked up to him when they were growing up. So somebody that can inspire that same thing, or maybe a foreign manager, who knows? But somebody, if Eguavoen has to go, honestly, after this, unforgivable.
That's why I asked you who.
I think it goes beyond Eguavoen going. See, let me tell you, there is one adage, there was an adage in my place. They say when you see a layman that carry a load, and then the load is bent like this, they ask, how did your load bend? He said, you are looking up, you did not look down. Let me tell you the truth, until we have the functioning technical units at NFF, we will still have the same issue.
Until we have functioning technical unit, well, a lot of things here, Nigerians are really born in and are not happy at all. We have to go now. Ablai, good one. Good to have you.
Great to be
and also Joel Ajayi, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And it's all about the North Journal from Lagos. We really appreciate him too. We just have to go 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Nigerians just have to be happy. Thanks for watching.